sir. What's good, y'all? You know, bear with me a second while I try to share this real quick. If you in the building, press like and share for your boy one time. You know what I mean? Uh, you know, good W tonight against a really good team. So we gonna talk about it. I ain't gonna be here for long, cause my iPad gonna die. So yeah, we gonna make this quick. We gonna talk about it though. Give me a second. I'm still sharing. Still sharing. Yeah. So yeah. Boom. Stephen Kennedy was good, my boy. How you? Barry was good. Was good. Barry in the building. Steven in the building. Uh, yeah. So boom. Good win tonight. Shout out to my guy Stephen Kennedy in the building. Shout out to my guy Barry. All right. So boom. Man, good win tonight, man. We played some tough defense. Uh, Still a lot of open shots, but overall good defensive game for us. Still way too many fucking 3 pointers we shooting. Uh, we shot 29 3 pointers tonight and only made five. I just don't get it. Uh, Bruh, the Giants pissed me off today, man. We played way too conservative in the fourth. That cost us the game. But yeah, whatever. So back to the Knicks. 5 for 29 3 pointers, man. This is what I'm saying, man. This is why I'm still on the fire Coach Tommy T train, man. Because even though we did play good defense tonight, there was no reason for us to be shooting 29 3 pointers, especially against a team that didn't have their main rim protector in Jarrett Allen. Uh, we dominated in the paint as far as scoring in the paint, and we should have just continued to go to the paint. There's no need for us to have shot uh, 29 3 pointers, and we only made five. We only shot 17% from the 3 point range tonight. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. You feel me? And that's a problem. That's schematic. That's the coach not telling his team to get downhill and get to the basket as often as possible. 29 3 pointers is way too much for this team. Way too much. But ain't too much else outside of that bad. The traveling calls tonight was outrageous. It seemed like the refs waited for tonight to call all the travels that they ever called in the season of basketball tonight. You feel me? And it was outrageous. What I think it was like 14 travel violations. Uh, 14 travel violations tonight. Yeah, I mean, shout out to Jason Tucker in the building, man. Uh, 14 travel violations in total tonight. That was wild. You feel me? Like it was the refs was on one tonight. But we definitely did. We turned over the ball way too much tonight. 20 turnovers. Uh, but we also did cause a lot of turnovers for them, so the turnover disparity wasn't lopsided or overly pronounced. You feel me? They turned over the ball 17 times. We turned it over 20. I believe 13 of their 17. No, I think it was like 12 of the 13 of their 17 turnovers. I believe were what you call it, forced turnovers. So that's dope. We turned them over a lot. We played really solid defense as a team. A lot of good help defense. Mitch came up absolutely uh, uh, big pause in that last possession, getting two offensive rebounds to help us seal the game. Uh, if we fire Coach Tabati, who's really a coach out there right now that's ready to replace. Okay, so I answer that question. I answer that question. Uh, One, I think Johnny Bryant could do a better job than Coach Tommy T right now, and he's on the bench. Uh, so he'll keep things going seamlessly at that position. And I think we could definitely get Kenny Atkinson away from the Warriors. You feel me? And I think he would do a better job and take this team to its potential. You feel me? I don't think this roster is a championship roster or a championship contending roster, but we definitely better than the 10th seed. You feel me? So I think those two guys are on tops of my list as far as replacing Coach Tommy T. Yeah, so yeah, and that's sad, bro. We should be able to expect defense like this consistently, bro. We should be, especially if the coach is touted as a defensive coach. Uh, we should be able to do that. But I will say this, I've been a stern Julius Randle supporter. I have not liked his effort on the defensive end over the last few games. It's been horrible. You feel me? Like he really ain't been putting up, like he don't even be closing out well, like, and that's horrible, bro. Like you gotta, like, you as one of the leaders on the team, you gotta lead by example and step up and put in that extra hustle, and he hasn't been doing that. It's way too often that he's been out of place and not making the effort to get back to his guy, or close out, or rotate over it with gusto. You know what I mean? So yeah, I've been disappointed in Jules, but other than that, yeah, I mean, tonight was a good game, man. It's the first time that we held any team all season under 100 points, and we end up holding the Cavs to 81. The Cavs couldn't hit the side of a barn tonight. They couldn't throw a dime in the ocean. They couldn't shoot from 3 point range. As bad as we were, they was equally as bad shooting 3 point shots. Uh, and some of that was defense, uh, and the rest of that was them. You feel me? I'll say, you know, their ineptness at the 3 point line. If I have to get a percentage, I would say it was 60%. Our defense 40%. They just couldn't hit anything, because there was some. They had a few good looks tonight that just wasn't falling for them, but yeah, it was a combination of defense, and they just couldn't hit nothing. 81 points. That's crazy, and that's good. Shout out to us for defense, and thank God for them for not being able to hit the side of a barn tonight. Uh, what else? We shot pretty well from the free throw line, 81%. Like, uh, we absolutely washed them up on the boards. 54 to 39. Shout out to my guy Mitchell Robinson. He was putting in work tonight on the boards. Uh, 11 rebounds, 5 points. Uh, but yeah, bro. See, this is what I'm saying. Everybody be like, "Yo, he's not gonna leave the Warriors." Guys who were once head coaches never want to stay assistant coaches, bro. That they just always waiting for their next opportunity to get their next head coaching job. So if the Warriors allowed the Knicks to talk to him, yes, he will probably leave that team to get another head coaching job. And there's not only one option. You got Johnny Bryant, and I feel like he's being groomed to take over anyway, because he was getting offers fielded from, I believe, the Jazz, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember which team. I think it was the Jazz that was trying to get Johnny Bryant over to their team and get him to coach over there. And the Knicks wasn't with the shits. You feel me? So I think that Johnny Bryant might actually get the job if Coach T is fired. But if I had my preference, it's Kenny Atkinson. You know what I mean? Uh, yeah. But you know, uh, but let's talk about it. R.J. Barrett first half of basketball tonight was absolutely atrocious. It was disgusting. I was highly upset. I was ready to start tweeting out, yo, bench, put RJ on the bench, because boy is out here wilding. He traveling all up over the place, turning over the ball, can't shoot, can't lay up the ball, taking bad shots. Oh, put RJ Barrett on the bench. Then he come out in the second half. He didn't go crazy. He didn't go crazy, but it was definitely a better situation than it was in the first half. He finished with 18 points, 8 rebound. I mean 15 points, 8 rebounds. Uh, it was a decent bounce back half for RJ Barrett. Nothing crazy, but him in totality got to get better, bro. Like, I'm tired of this whole slow start RJ Barrett, and you guys know I'm a big RJ Barrett fan as well. You know what I mean? I've been calling him Star J Barrett for after his first season. You feel me? Like I was saying that he's gonna be a future All Star and all these other things, but he gotta get past this. whatever's going on with him in the beginning of these seasons, man. It's bad, bro, because his counterparts, guys that was drafted around him before and after, hit the ground running. Zion Williamson missed a whole season of basketball and came into this year like he never left. You feel me? Like, he's balling out of control. Obviously, he's the number one, a generational talent. Yeah, I mean, RJ Barrett is not that. Ja Morant, same thing. Hit the ground running. Again, another generational talent. Not RJ Barrett, but, Darius Garland, somebody that we actually worked out in the draft before we drafted RJ Barrett. He was injured, he played one game, was injured for a while, came back, was balling out of control. So there's really no excuse to make for RJ Barrett continually having slow starts. It can't be, he just has slow starts. He didn't put in enough work in the NBA for that to be accepted. You feel me? Like, he gotta figure it out, bro. He gotta figure it out. And I think it's mostly because he has poor shot selection. If his shot selection was better, he'll be doing better. But he forces the issue. I think the money is putting pressure on him, making him feel like he has to do more than he's capable of doing. Like he needs to be, because he got the money, he needs to, try to lay the ball up over 2 to 3 defenders when he go to the rim, which is absolutely dumb. You feel me? But he does it. You feel me? And he does it. And you're right. You're right, Kofi. It's definitely hard to watch. It's hard to watch, bro. It's hard to watch RJ Barrett play because he has so much potential. He has so much potential, and we know that he has tremendous upside, but it's hard to watch him just, flounder around the way he does. If you were to build a press like for your boy, you heard? Yeah, yeah, and and that's the thing too. You feel me? You could be a really good player without having to have, elite handles, but it's up to your coach. This is where the coaching is important. It's up to your coach to put you in situations where you can maximize your talents. RJ Barrett is not a good off the dribble basketball player. So they do run some screens to get him downhill, but that's still a lot of him having to dribble the ball to get to the basket. There's not enough off ball screens for RJ Barrett, get him cutting to the rim and having a guy like Jalen Brunson catch him and passing the ball with him cutting to the basket, where he don't have to dribble the ball a lot. It's just him catching the ball, making the decision, lay it up or pass it. Same thing with Julius Randle. Like, there's not enough plays for those guys getting into those situations where they don't really have to dribble the ball. And to me, that's coaching. The coach is responsible for drawing up plays where these guys don't have to do a lot of dribbling to get baskets. And that doesn't happen because Coach Tommy T is unimaginative when it comes to offensive basketball. Now, as much as I want Coach Tommy T fired, do I think he's a horrible coach? No, I just don't think he's the right coach for this team. I think the year that we went to the playoffs, he was the perfect coach for the Knicks and as the roster stood. Not a lot of offensive talent, a really good defensive team. You had a lot of good defensive players on that team. So he was the perfect coach for that, and he optimized that situation the best he could. And then when Derrick Rose came back, he put the offense on the shoulders of Julius Randle and Derrick Rose, and it worked out to his benefit. But this is not the same team. These guys are not the same. You feel me? This team needs a little bit more imagination when it comes to, the offensive schemes, right? The offensive schemes. So we gotta figure something out, man. We gotta figure something out because the way the offense stands, we can't continue to shoot 30% and below from 3-point range and expect to win games, especially when you're shooting 30 of them. When you're shooting 30 plus 3-pointers a game, you can't expect to win games if you constantly shooting 30 or below. We're last in the NBA in 3-point field goal percentage. We have to get to the basket more, shoot less 3-pointers. And the reason why I say this is because if we're going to hang our hat on defense and be a defensive team, Long rebounds get you into trouble. It gets you in the easy transition. So when you miss the 3-pointer, normally it's a long rebound and easy transition baskets. It gets down guys that get guys down in the other side of the court quicker. There's more mismatches. There's more confusion on the defensive end, and that be the problem. More open 3-point shots, for the opposing team. So that be the problem. But now if you play mostly towards your strength, which is utilizing your slashes and getting to the basket more often, you can set up your defense more. And you have the opposing team playing against your set defense more often versus you trying to scramble back in transition and match up against, guys cutting to the basket, kicking out, and having our defense scrambling all the time. Like, that's the difference. And that's what we did the Tibbs' first year when he was the head coach of the Knicks. Excuse me. That's what that's what we did the first year when Coach Tommy T first came here. We shot like 21 3-pointers a game. We shot 21 3-pointers a game. That was our average, right? We were going to the basket a whole lot more often. And we forced teams to play against our set defense more often. That's the way we're going to win basketball games. Things started going downhill once Coach Tommy T tried to ramp up the offense and go into this more 3-point shooting system. That's not who this team is. That's not who he is as a coach. If you're going to coach, if you're going to be the coach and you're not going to have a vivid imagination on trying to find ways to get these guys open to take quality 3-point shots, then you got to coach to who you are naturally. And forever, Coach Tommy T has always been a defensive first coach, not taking a lot of 3-point shots, taking care of the basketball. And we can do that as a team and win a lot of games doing that. But we can't win a lot of games chucking up 3-pointers and allowing teams to get down the court fast. And because that's what happens. When you're missing 3-pointers, you're giving the opposite team a lot of chances to get in the transition and get in the early offense. And that's what kills us almost every game, right? But you can't. So, but the thing is, and the thing is, right, Sean, shout out to my guy in the building for real. The thing is, Sean, like, he don't necessarily have to rely on just one player. I feel like we have enough solid players on this team that they can take turns being relied on. It's who has the hot hand tonight, who has the favorable matchup. Because it could be nice that Jalen Brunson is matched up against somebody that completely can't guard him. Okay, then we're gonna lean on Jalen Brunson tonight. Or it could be one of those nights with Julius Randle on Fuego. All right, we're going to lean on Julius tonight. We haven't seen much of it, but it could be a night where RJ is the guy and he got the hot hand. We're going to lean on RJ. It could be a night that quickly is coming off the bench, shooting lights out and playing really well. We could lean on him. Like, that's the thing. Like, that's the way this team is built. I feel like this team is an all hands on deck team. It could be anybody's night on any given night. And I feel like Coach Tommy T knows that to an extent. It's just the fact that he wants to shoot. You want these guys to shoot 30 plus 3-pointers a game. That's craziness. We are ranked 11th in attempts per game, and we are dead last in field goal percentage. That's not that 3-point field goal percentage. No, that's not good. We should not be that high in attempts and that low in makes in percentage. Excuse me, right? So I think that needs to come down. Coach Tommy T need to tell the guys, hey, let's cut down on the 3-point shooting until we start getting more of a rhythm with that. Let's focus more on our strengths, getting to the basket, making quick decisions with the basketball. And really, I only want to see a few people taking more than three-pointers a game. There's only like 2 people on the team I want to see taking more than three-pointers a game. That's quickly got a little bit more leeway when it comes to his 3-point shooting than everybody else. That's Quentin Grimes. Even though he ain't been consistently, hitting his 3-point shot, we all know that his capability of shooting the basketball. Uh, and who else? That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Everybody else, you limit to two. The three is your max, bro. Three is your max. Now, don't get me wrong. If you having like a night, like one of those nights where Julius Randle is on fire and you make it up to Jalen, I don't even want him shooting like that. He got to prove that he's hot that night. You feel me? If you get the three and you 1 for 3, you got one more chance. If you miss the next one, I don't want you shooting no more. Jalen Brunson, if he's hot, if like I was about to say, like if you had one of those nights like Julius Randle had where you make it up to 4 3-pointers and you 3 for 4, or you 2 for 4, yeah, let's go. You can shoot some more because you're having a decent night shooting. But if you're 1 for 3, you need to rein back, bro. It better be a wide open 3-pointer you're taking if you're 1 for 3. It better be wide open. And I think that's the decision making that needs to be made with these players. I feel like they all too comfortable, like they got that green light shooting 3-pointers. I don't never want to see nobody on this team take a step back 3-pointer. I don't never want to see it because we're not good at shooting threes. Why are we taking step backs? Why are we taking step back 3-pointers? Ain't nobody that good. Not one person on this team that good. Yeah. Yo, Stevie, that's funny, but I'm not putting that on my screen though. Yeah, yeah, man. But tonight we needed this win. You know what I mean? I feel like we needed this win. It definitely was a must win in my eyes. Definitely was a must win in my eyes. And I feel like we low key lucky. Uh, I feel like we low key lucky that Jerry Allen wasn't there. I think we could have still had a really good game on the boards, but I don't think it would have been as pronounced as it was. Us absolutely washing them on the boards. 54 rebounds to their 39, 14 offensive rebounds to their 8. Uh, excuse me. I think. Excuse me. Yeah, if Jared Allen was there, I don't think that would happen the same way. I don't know why Rose didn't play, but I believe it was an injury related. It didn't make it to the injury report on ESPN, but I did hear Mike Breen saying that him and Cam Reddish wasn't available tonight. I think Cam Reddish is still dealing with the groin injury. I'm not sure what injury that D Rose may be dealing with or why he ain't playing. But yeah, those two guys didn't play for those reasons. It was good to see Deuce get some minutes, and I think he helped defensively tonight. I think he really did help defensively tonight, and I'll take. Listen, man. As much as I like D Rose, I'll take Deuce lack of scoring and his defense over D Rose's scoring, a little bit more scoring and less defense. You feel me? I'll take it all day in America. Whatchamacallit? Yeah, because Deuce McBride played 16 minutes and didn't get not one bucket, but I feel like his presence was still felt on the basketball court with his defensive effort. Quentin Grimes, I think Quentin Grimes played a pretty good game against Donovan Mitchell tonight. You know what I mean? Donovan Mitchell had, 23 points? And Walt Clyde always say it, right? Walt Clyde always said, if you hold a star player to his average or under, you did a great job. Donovan Mitchell scored 23 points today. He's averaging 28 points on the season. So Quentin Grimes did a great job tonight guarding Donovan Mitchell. It was a few plays that I was like, yeah, this is really impressive defense. But Donovan Mitchell's an impressive player. He's an elite talent. And there's only so much you could do to stop him or slow him down. So to hold him underneath his season average is definitely a win for Quentin Grimes defensively. And he had a good game, man, and that's the beautiful thing about Quentin Grimes' game is not so much predicated on what he could do with putting the ball in the basket. He has a good game in so many other ways. 6 rebounds from your two guard. I like that. That's good rebounding from your two guard position, right? And then also you coupled. He only had 1 assist, but it was a good pass. He usually beat his last few games. His assist numbers have been a little bit better. He's been giving us about like 3 assists. You know what I mean, 3 to 4 assists, and then you add his defense to that, and that's a solid game from Quentin Grimes, man. Like I said, Walt Clyde said all the time, his goal was to hold a star player. Kev was good. I see you, Brody. His game plan was to hold a star player to or to below his season average. Quentin Grimes did that tonight, holding Donovan Mitchell to 23 points. Yeah, I mean, that's good defense. I think Quentin Grimes played an amazing game. I'm not. I think Quentin Grimes need to be a little bit more judicious with his 3-point shot selection. Sometimes I feel like he takes some bad ones. He need to really wait for them wide open Johns so he can make those. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's a fact. I barely heard the post game because I was getting ready to do this. But I did hear that could never happen again, and that's a fact, man. Jalen Brunson's been saying all the right things this season, and he's been giving A1 effort. He's been trying to lead by example, but he's 100% right. That cannot happen. There's no way in the world you should have a 5 game losing streak at home. It should never happen, especially in a place like to me Madison Square Garden. Like I think we got the dopest fans in the world. The energy in the building is always live, so you have the support in the building. There's no reason why you should be losing 5 games in a row. Maybe the pressure just too much for some players playing in the Garden, but you gotta you that can't happen. Yeah, yeah, bro. Like that's a fact. Like we like we can't let that happen. We can't let that happen, man. We gotta win more games at home. We gotta win more games at home. I'm about to get off this soon because my iPad is only on 4%, and this is why Apple is kind of trash because I got my mic hooked up to the only jack like in the iPad. So there's that. So whatever, right? Uh It was something else I wanted to say before I dipped. Da, 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 da. It was something else I wanted to say. Oh, I was going to look at the schedule. Yeah, I was going to look at our schedule because who we play next. We play the Hawks next, and we owe them. We owe them. We owe them. Oh, no, we don't play the Hawks next. Yeah, we do. We play the Hawks next. We play the Hawks on Wednesday. You know what I mean? We owe them. We owe them. That's a fact, Steven. That's a fact. Uh, you know, we owe the Hawks. I can't stand Trey Young. I want to beat Trey Young every time we play him. I don't ever want to take no loss ever in life to Trey Young ever again. So, the way that we lost last time was embarrassing. Uh, we definitely need to get our get back. Definitely need to get our get back. We have an opportunity to go on a little mini. We got some favorable games coming up in our favor. I think it's never any easy nights in the NBA in my opinion. But when you look at the records of some of these teams that we're playing, uh, we have an opportunity, to rack up some wins real quick. Know what I mean? So the Hawks have been playing, considerably bad as of late. Uh, Come on, man. Yeah, the Hawks have been playing bad as of late. I'm trying to look at some things so I can tie it into what I'm saying. You know what I mean? But my phone is acting stupid. They 5-5 in their last 10. They dropped quite a few games recently. And I feel like this is a game that we can win, man. I feel like we always match up well against, you know, the Hawks. And we gotta take that. We gotta take that dub, man. We gotta take that dub because after that we play the Hornets. The Hornets is not looking good this season, especially without Lamelo. Yeah, I mean that's another game I feel like we can win. Yeah, I mean it's a very winnable game for us. Then we play the Kings, another very winnable game for us. You feel me? And then we play the Bulls, another team that's struggling. We play the Bulls back to back, not back to back, but pretty much back to back. We played them back to back, like, but we played them on Wednesday and Friday, the 14th and the 16th. Pacers is playing really good basketball, but I feel like we could beat them. We got one, two, three, four, five, six of our next game are very winnable games for us. You feel me? Six of our next games is very winnable game for us. Is a chance for us to get back above 500 and move up in these standings. I don't like being at 10th place. I don't believe this is a 10th place team, even though much of the sports analysis and sports analysis and our fan base believe that's where the Knicks is going to top out at is as a lottery team. I don't believe this. I mean, not a lottery team, a playing team. But I don't believe this team is a playing team. I believe we could be a 6 seed. And this is a chance for us to make up some ground in these next 6 games. You feel me? I think we match up well against all these teams. If we play defense like we played tonight, chase guys off the 3-point line, get to the basket, take less 3-pointers, we can win some games, man. For real, for real. But yo, shout out to everybody. I'm on 3%, so yeah, let me wrap this up. Shout out to everybody that pulled up tonight, Darlene. I'm sorry I didn't give you a shout out. You know what I mean? But I see you in the building. You always here. I appreciate you. My guy, Stephen Kennedy. You know what I mean? I ain't got no time to argue with you today, Stephen, but I'm happy you here. Sean, I see you came through with the pull-up. We had a few net fans in here. They love watching Knicks. They really Knicks fans. So they come in here and watch me all the time do my thing. You know what I mean? So I appreciate them too. But yeah, shout out to everybody who pulled up, man. Even if you didn't come, my guy Kofi, Michael Brown, I see you. You know what I mean? Joel, I see you. Uh, I was I was on the roll with what I was saying. I didn't get to do a lot of shout outs, and I appreciate everybody. If you didn't already, please, please press the like button. Please press the share button. You know what I mean? If you ain't doing it already, follow us on Twitter and Instagram. You know what I mean? It's right below me. Do all that good stuff. Appreciate y'all for rocking out with me and hearing me talk my stuff about Knicks. It's still fire Coach Tommy T, though. Don't get it twisted. Just because we got this win, it's still fire Coach Tommy T, and it's going to be that way until he get this team to stop shooting a billion three-pointers a game, convince them to start going to the basket, and play Jericho Sims over Isaiah Hartenstein, even though Isaiah Hartenstein had a good game today. Hartenstein had a good game today. I can't even be mad at iHeart today. But I still think Jericho Sims is better than him. Yeah, 10 points, 9 rebounds. I ain't mad at Hartenstein today. And that was another thing, too, that we was doing that we don't do a lot of, passing out of layups to our big men. Like, we don't really do much of that. And we did that today, and I think that helped. Mitch caught a pass or two. Yeah, I mean, Hartenstein was definitely the beneficiary of a lot of those passes tonight. And what's going on with Obi, man? Like, I can't figure it out for the life of me. Obi ain't looking like himself. He need to get it together, man. Him and RJ. You know what I mean? They need to get it together. What needs to happen, right? Which we don't hear of anymore. It's those nights where those guys was staying after every game putting up shots. That's when RJ Barrett was shooting like 40% from three-point range that season. When Emmanuel Quickly was shooting 40% from three-point range that season. They could all benefit from that. They all need to get back to that. Go back, after the game. Y'all need to be out there with the ball boy and shooting, putting up threes, man. If that's what y'all want to do, if that's what y'all going to do, y'all need to be continuously putting in the work. And I don't see that same effort as Coach Tommy T's first season. You know what I mean? And but Coach Sammy T did call RJ out on that, like, yo, he need to get back to, coming in at night, shooting them threes. Yo, listen, yo, well, yeah, I don't listen. I don't, the way Obi playing right now, I don't think he starts on any team in the NBA. I like Obi too. Like the way he playing right now, there's not is not. I can't name one team that he's better than their starting power forward right now. I can't. I can't. You know what I mean? I can't. And I don't like to live in a land of what we should have done. You know what I mean? But yeah, I holla at y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm out because I'm on 2% now.